Hey guys, welcome to the channel. This is KMZ and today this is my video on two pieces of PS4 news. These are just updates, so it shouldn't take too long to bring you up to speed with what's going on and with what we are going to cover. Just in case you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe because that is the best way for you to stay updated with all the news that I put out regarding the hacking, modding, homebrew, and jailbreak scenes. So let's go ahead and let's get started first with the E4 flasher. Alright, so I noticed this updated information regarding the E4 flasher over at our friends at Logic Sunrise. There's this post that surfaced. Apparently, if you were one of the 10 individuals the developer selected to test this E4 flasher, you got an email just like this one here, along with the pic that actually shows the E4 flasher itself. And looking at that pic, we can see a few interesting things. Now, once I'm done here, I'll just give you a quick summary on what we know and what we don't know regarding the flasher itself. Alright, so what we're looking at here is the soldered version of the E4 flasher. If you watched my previous video on the E4 flasher when the news came out, I told you that based on what the developer stated, it seemed like there was going to be a solderless version of this, but of course that hasn't been confirmed. Anyway, this is what those 10 individuals got, so obviously they're going to have to solder this onto their PS4, but we know that it does work for any PS4 model. So upon closer inspection, you can see the CPU is here. There's also the little SD card slot or SD card port, whatever you want to call it. There's actually an SD card in there right now, a micro SD card. I don't know if you can see, but the little butt of it is sticking out. Then we have the micro USB, which we already knew that as well. And then something new are these 5 buttons that are here. These are reminiscent, kind of similar to what was on the front of the E3 flasher. Anyway, each one is marked. The first one says PREV, which means previous. Then the next one has enter. The one after that says next. Then the fourth one, I have no idea what it says, and apparently neither did Logic Sunrise, because here when they list them, they left the fourth one blank. They skipped over it. And then the last one says reset. So that's pretty much it regarding this new information on the E4 flasher. I told you there wasn't a whole lot, but really that's how it's been with this. The developer is holding back on a lot of information, so we can only go by what little he's given us so far and by what we get from, sites like Logic Sunrise and from, in this case, this pic here. So let me summarize very quickly what we do and don't know regarding the E4 flasher. So we do know, obviously, it exists. 10 people are testing the soldered version of it. We believe that there's going to be a solderless version, but we don't know that for sure. We don't know what the cost is going to be. We don't know if this edition is going to look like this, if this is how the final product is going to look. We don't know when it's going to get released. Here at Logic Sunrise, some of the individuals guesstimated that maybe sometime in 2021, either the first quarter or within the first half, is when it'll become available to the public. We don't have a price, and here's the kicker, we really don't know what this thing does. We know it can replace the little mini Arduino board, the ESP8266. We know it has Wi-Fi capabilities. You can also transfer data via the micro USB, and you can host menus right off of the micro SD card. Now we know things like that because the developer said that, but we don't know really what else it does. And we know that it has to have other functionalities beyond that. Now, many are guessing who are in the know that what this will do is just simplify the current downgrade process, which is very complicated. This will make it easier to do that, but it doesn't seem, at least on the surface, that you'll be able to put this into any PS4 and just downgrade it. So at least for right now, it doesn't seem like you'll be able to do that. Of course, if you have already a PS4 and you have certain prerequisites, then you may be able to downgrade. But again, that process is somewhat complex. This might make that a little bit easier. You can check what those prerequisites are in that previous video that I talked about earlier. The other thing is, I'm pretty sure this will not be able to jailbreak just any PS4. Some people are already hypothesizing that that's what you'll be able to do like you did with the PS3, but you couldn't even do that on the PS3. There were only certain jailbreakable ones that you could use the E3 flasher on. So anyway, we really don't know all these specifics and details on what this will do, so we have to wait for that. I already mentioned that in the previous video, and I had people in the comments already asking, what is it going to cost? When is it coming out in Europe? I mean, we don't even know what this thing does. So there's no way that we can have an idea on, when it's going to come out, what it does, what it's going to cost, what region it'll be available in. I mean, we're not going to know any of that stuff until we know first what the thing does. So let's wait on that little bit of information and then we'll move from there. All right, so let's go ahead and head on over to the latest update from Leeful's 6.72 host menu. All right, so I'll put a link in the description that'll bring you here to the page that has Leeful's 6.72 exploit host menus. If we scroll down a bit, you will see the new version 10 right here. You can also see a few things that have been done in this latest version. So very quickly, he reported Vortex game dumper to 6.72. It now shows you a percentage completion pop-up while you're dumping the game, which is great because before that never really displayed. All you would get was just a little pop-up, I think, that would show every 5 to 10 seconds, letting you know that, it was still dumping your game. So now the fact that it shows some type of progress is great. And then you don't need to mess around with your USB. There was a little file there, so in case you wanted to dump the game and the update, you would need to change some information that was on the file on the USB. You don't have to do that anymore. You can do that right through the menu. We will talk about that more here in just a minute. He also added the firmware spoofer, where you can spoof to any firmware you want. This is primarily for PSVR and for possibly developers. This will not allow you to play newer games, and it will not allow you to go online. I know some people are already thinking that. No, that's not what this is for. And then he redid the database backup and restore because there was kind of a little issue there with it. And then he added the Le Mans GTA V mod menu. So I'm just going to show you the menu here on my Windows. That way I don't have to fire up the PS4 and stuff. You can see what it looks like. I believe before it brings you here, you have a choice of loading up the exploit and hen manually, and then it'll bring you here. But anyway, once you're here, you get your regular tools. There's that game dumper. So now right from here, you can choose whether to dump the game and the update, just the game, or just the update, or dump the game and the update but have them be merged together. Now I personally like to dump both, and I always do them separate. So I usually go this method here, dump the game and the update, but not merged. But that's just me. Then you have the mod menus here. There's actually just 2 of them, Arabic Guy and Le Mans. But Arabic Guy, there's 3 here for the base version of the game, for update 127 and update 132. Some people have stated that these 1.32 GTA menus only work with HEN 213B. So if you try with 213B and it works, great, but if it doesn't, then try it with just the regular 213, because Leeful did say that for him they work fine on 213. And then this auto load mode setting deal, what this is, I'm assuming, is that when you set it, the next time you come to this host menu, it will automatically load whatever you have chosen here. So let's say we click this one to on. That means the next time you come here, it will automatically load the exploit and hen, which is the full jailbreak. Or if you select 213B, it'll do the full jailbreak automatically without you having to select it. I believe before you even come to this screen, there's the manual mode where you don't have to have it on auto and you just pick what you want manually. And that's pretty much it. Oh, and one more thing before I forget, if you want to connect to this host menu through your PS4's browser online, then all you need to do is go to your browser and type this address right here. I'll put it up on the screen. If you want to host the files yourself and host the menu on your own, just come here and look for this rare file titled v10. Alright guys, so that's pretty much going to do it. Let me know what you think about all of this information. I know we don't have much to go on regarding the E4 flasher, but what do you think about what we know so far? I know a lot of people are giving some what if scenarios. What if it can do this? What if it can do that? What about this? What about that? So let's talk about that too. I didn't spend much time on the host menu because I know you guys already know how to use that stuff. I just wanted to highlight some of the things that were a little bit more important and different in version 10. I hope you enjoyed the video. You know I appreciate you watching, and if you found anything here helpful, informative, useful, or you just want to throw some love or appreciation towards the channel, of course, as always, you know the best way to do any of that is just to hit that like button and maybe subscribe to stay up to date with what is going on regarding the E4 flasher. I'm pretty sure we're going to have a lot more information regarding it, hopefully soon in the near future. Take care, guys. Much love going out to all of you. Be careful, be safe, but have fun, and we will see you on the next one.